Hello my dear friends. So today we are going to learn the key concept of system design, and here we are going to use a simple pizza restaurant example. Okay. So first of all, let us consider there is a pizza shop. Okay. Now in this pizza shop, what is happening? There is one oven that is going to be used to bake the pizza. Let's say this oven is making 10 pizza in 1 hour. Okay, now let's say there is a demand in your shop and they need 15 pizza in 1 hour. So what you can do, you can buy a new oven which is of big size, okay, which can generate 15 pizza per hour. So this concept in the terms of computer, or I can say while designing, this concept is known as vertical scaling. So basically what we are doing here, we are increasing the capacity of a single resource. The resource that we have, we are increasing the capacity of that single resource. Previously we have a small oven, now we have a big oven that is making 15 pizza per hour. Now what are the pros and cons? Let's discuss that also. So pros and cons are, first of all, if you have a big pizza, so I think that will be not difficult to install, because uh, previously you have a small oven, now you have a big oven, so it is a simple to implement. Second thing is, there is no additional staff is required. So previously also there was one pizza oven, so you can, there will be only one staff, and now the size of oven is increased, so no additional staff is required. These are the pros of the vertical scaling. Now let us talk about cons. So basically now we are increasing the size of pizza, size of oven, okay, but we can increase the size of oven at a particular extent. We can't just make it too big, okay. And one more cons that is have, that if we have only one oven and let's say that oven is not working properly, so I can say that there is a single point of failure. Okay, so if the oven breaks, the entire operation get halted. So it means if you have only one oven, so there will be a little bit problem. Now let's say how we can solve this problem. This problem can be solved by buying multiple ovens. Let's say we purchased 3 ovens. Okay. Now this oven is generating 10 pizza per hour. This is also generating 10 pizza per hour. This is also generating 10 pizza per hour. Okay. Now this is known as horizontal scaling. What is this known as? Horizontal scaling. So instead of increasing the size of oven, what we are doing, we are bringing multiple ovens. Okay, so basically we are adding more resource to increase the load. Now let's say we have a demand of 40 pizza per hour, so now we can install one more oven and that can again deliver 10 pizza per hour. So if the demand is increasing, we can add more ovens. Okay, now again here are also some pros and cons. So here we can say that it is very flexible. So we can say we can bring a new oven and we can install it. Okay, here the risk is also reduced. Why? Because let's say if one oven is not working, there are still some ovens that are working. Okay, so the system will be not completely halted. It can partially be slow, but in the previous example, when there was only one big oven and let's say that oven is not working, so your entire pizza making is getting stopped. So here I can say there is a less risk of getting failure. But now there are 4 ovens, so you require more staff. Okay, you require more staff to handle the pizza. So I would say that complexity is going to be increased here, because if there are more ovens, more staff, then the complexity in the management will be increased. So this is how we can say that there are two concepts that we have learned till now, is vertical scaling as well as horizontal scaling. Now let us go to the third terminology. I will tell you, first of all, let us take some example and then we will go to the terminology. Okay, so let's say let's talk about that a pizza station is there, right? In this pizza station, what we are going to do, let's say there is a system, there is a oven. Okay, this oven breaks or not work. Okay, it's not working, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to keep some backup oven. What we are going to do, we are going to keep some backup oven. What will this backup oven will be used? So if our primary system fails, there will be a secondary system, they can take over. Okay, similarly there will be a main oven. This is a big main oven. Now we will keep a secondary oven which can be a smaller oven. Okay, this is just for the safety. We can use this oven if required, we cannot use, it's up completely depend upon us, but this is will be considered as a backup server for us. Okay, so here also there will be some pros and cons. Pros will be we can say that it will minimize the downtime. Okay, if one server is down, there is still a backup, so we can use that server. But again, it will, the cost will be increased because you need to purchase two ovens. So this is one thing. Now let us move to the next terminology. Let's say in your restaurant you have some specialized station. Okay, we are a pizza store, so there will be a place where we are preparing dough. Okay, there will be one place that we are applying topping. Okay, there will be one place where pizza is going to be baked. There will be one place from where we are going to deliver the pizza. Okay, now if we can separate all the work, that we can associate some person whose work is just to make the dough, we can have some persons whose work is just to do topping on the pizza, we can have some person who are just responsible for baking, we can have some persons who are responsible for delivery. Okay, if we are making everything separately, so we are dividing our big we can say complex system into smaller sections. So we would say that we are developing microservices. What we are doing, we are developing microservices. It means what we are doing, we are breaking down our big app into small chunks so that they can work independently. Again, here will be pros and cons. Pros will be we can easily manage each and every service separately. Okay, and let's say if there is a fault in topping, so we can handle this scenario and other things can work properly. Okay, now again here the communication between all the things should be proper. Okay, all the services communication should be proper. So here I would say that we require more coordination. Okay, now let's come to other situation. Let's say there is a, you are owning a shop, and in the shop there is some let's say light issue today. Okay, light is not coming in that area. Now if light is not coming in that area, what will happen? Your pizza shop will be stopped. But again in the computer system or in the, we can't do like this, we can't make our website down or something like this. So what we are going to do, we are going to open multiple branches. Okay, let's say one branch will be at location A, other branch will be at location B, and other branch will be location C. So I would say that pizza will be delivered if they are asking for the pizza from the branch B, and let's say there is no electricity on the branch B. What we can do, we can redirect the customer to our branch A. Okay, so this is known as distributed system. What is this known as? Distributed system. So what we are doing basically here, we are having a restaurant with the multiple branch. Now each branch can operate independently, but everyone is the part of the same brand and everyone will have the same recipe. So here also there are pros and cons. So first of all, what will happen, it will again increase the geographic scaling. So let's say we can have, let's say there is a city which have a map of 50 kilometers. So what we can do, we can install in some corner so that we can deliver in the all part of the city. So we are increasing our scaling. And what will be the cons of this? So again there will be synchronizing challenge. Let's say there will be some branches will be delivering the fast, there will be some there can be some issue and some branches. Okay, so we have to handle each things very properly. Like this we have to handle the scenario. Now let's say there is a busy there is a very busy shop, very busy day in the pizza restaurant. So now what we can do, we can introduce a manager. Okay, let's say we have chef 1, chef 2, chef 3, chef 4. They all are baking their pizzas in the ovens. Okay, now customers are coming. So if they directly disturb the chef, they will not able to concentrate on baking the pizza. So instead of directly going to the chef, what we will do, we will introduce a manager. So what this manager will do, let's say chef 1 have 3 orders. Okay, and chef 2 have only 2 orders, chef 3 has 1 order, and chef 4 has, let's say, 4 orders. Now let's say one new order came, so what it will do, it will divert to the chef 3 because it has very less number of orders pending. So basically what we are doing, whatever the incoming requests that are coming, what we are doing, we are diverting that request to a server which is not overwhelmed. Okay, so this is concept is known as load balancing. What this concept is known as load balancing. So again, there will be some pros and cons for this. So it will improve the performance and it will prevent the bottlenecks. And again, there will be cons, that there will be we required an additional setup. Okay, there will be some manager. Okay, like this we need to do. This is how we can these are the some concept that we have covered. So what are the concept, I will be quickly help you to revise. First concept that we have seen was the vertical scaling. The second concept that we have seen was today was horizontal scaling. The third concept that we have seen was backup, so backup servers. Okay, the fourth concept that we have seen was microservices. What is microservices? Fifth term that we have understood was distributed system. The sixth term that we have understood today was load balancing. So like this, I hope now if anyone asks you what is load balancing, you can pick this example and you can explain them. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. And if you are liking this video, you can share with your friends who are very new to the system design and want to learn it. Okay, thank you.